It's great to have you here today. I'm joined with certified top speed golf instructor Ronnie Snowden, and we're talking about the only thing that everybody cares about, which is how do I hit the ball solid? If I could hit it solid every single time, wouldn't care about much else. Ronnie, what is your best drill to get people hitting it solid?
Well, first let's think about, there's actually two things that most of my students are doing that's making it very difficult on them to hit the ball solid. One is in the downswing, they want to push their hips forward toward the golf ball. You know, that by pushing them forward, it's making it much more difficult to get the hips open, and it creates a lack of space for their hands to come through, causes a chicken wing in the downswing. Just a lot of bad things happen, making it more difficult. And the second thing is that, the right side, most of them are right-handed, and they get right side dominant. It feels like they want to push that club down with their right hand. So what's really happening here is, our wrists have extension and it has flexion. And what the pros are doing in the downswing is they have extension. This right hand has knuckles back, okay? That allows them to have lag, get some forward shaft lean, really compress that ball, hit that ball solid. But what's happening is, the right side feels dominant. The right side, they want to really get in the rush and push that ball, push that club head toward the ball.
Almost like hit at the ball with the right hand, right?
And they push that hand forward and get a little flexion instead of extension.
Yeah, I like that. If you take that with the right hand back there, just put the club in your right hand and take it about halfway back in the backswing or 3/4 of the way back. Try not to hit me there. But the knuckles back is this extension. So it's almost like the pros are going to have their knuckles back as far as they can. And what that does, you'll notice if I start to go this way where it's flat, as I start to go into extension, it shallows the club out. You'll also notice from this angle, I can get a little bit easier lag as I start to come later on down in the swing. All of a sudden, if I flatten that wrist out, it wants to kick this club out this way. And when you're coming through impact, now you're getting a little scoopy versus when the knuckle's back. As you rotate through, you're gonna have lag and shaft lean.
Lag, shallow, club out, all the good things that we want to do. So, you don't want to, if you fix one, but the other one's still happening, it doesn't do you any good. So this drill is designed to tackle both of these root causes. Okay, so what you want to do, let me see your club there, Clay.
Yeah, sure.
So this will give me some immediate feedback to know if I'm doing this drill right. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is a 7-iron, just something that has a little bit of loft, and I'm putting it underneath my lead heel, okay? And what I want to do here is if I'm putting pressure, if I have weight on that heel, the club shaft is up in the air, okay? So first thing we're going to do is work on our hips, keeping our hips back. Let's think of, at address, there's this imaginary wall behind us, okay? So if there was a wall coming up right on the edge of our backside, straight up and down, it's like a pane of glass almost. We want to keep these hips back against this wall throughout the swing. Now, they're not both going to be there the whole time, but in the backswing, we want to think about this right butt cheek as we come back, pushing back against this imaginary wall. So I want to take my backswing, think about pushing this hip back, keeping this right butt cheek against this wall. So now in the downswing, now that we're in this good position, as this right butt cheek comes off the wall, because as your hips open, it's going to come off this wall, but it needs to get replaced by this left butt cheek, okay? So as I'm back and I'm in a good position, I'm going to come down, my hips are going to open, I want to think about squatting down, keeping my hips back, and not only do I want to get my weight shifted to my lead side, but I want it to go more toward my heel, and that's why this club is here. When you get your weight shifted to your lead side, if you tend to come to your toes and those hips are coming up, that's going to happen when your hips come up, then this club will drop, okay? You'll notice that. If you're doing this correctly and keeping your hips back and getting the weight to our heel on this lead side, then the club shaft will still be up in the air. So that's kind of some immediate feedback to know if we are keeping the hips back, keeping that left butt cheek against this imaginary wall in the downswing.
Yeah, I really like if you imagine it almost like a mirror, like there's a flat sheet of glass, and you took some dry erase marker and you dry erased all over it behind your backside, and you put 2 towels, one on your right butt cheek, one on your left butt cheek. As you took the backswing with your right one, you would push into the mirror and wipe away some of the dry erase marker that's behind the right butt cheek. Then, here's what I really liked. You mentioned this before. When you shift forward, it's almost like you get your hips forward. So almost like bump the hips forward first, put them against the mirror, and then wipe away the left side. So it's that shift forward that allows you to get your divot in front,
Yeah.
the shaft lean, all the good stuff that happens with what he was talking about.
Well, and if you struggle to open your hips in a downswing, this could be one of the reasons why you're pushing those hips forward. So doing this drill, keeping these hips back, you're going to figure out that it's going to be a lot easier to get these hips open.
Yep, for sure.
So that's part of the drill. That's going to deal with the thrusting of the hips. Now, the other thing I want to do is try to, eliminate this right side dominance. This right side, the right hand, the right wrist flexion, okay?
Feels powerful.
It does
but
feel
in reality,
powerful.
it gets rid of it.
Right. What we really want to be doing in the downswing is pulling this club down, okay? So the lead arm is responsible for pulling this club through, and you're really pulling through and then pulling up with that lead arm. So let's take the right hand off. Let's give ourselves that feel for what our lead arm's role should be in the downswing. So I'm going to work on both of these at the same time. I'm thinking about my hips, but since I'm only swinging with one arm here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grip down on the grip just a little bit, probably halfway, maybe a little more than halfway to make it a little bit lighter. Put my right hand behind my back. So I'm in a good posture here. I'm thinking about my hips staying back against this imaginary wall. I'm going to come back, okay? And then in the downswing, pull this club through, okay? I'm keeping my hips back against this wall, getting my hips nice and open, and I'm really getting the feeling for what my lead arm should be doing in a downswing. Getting the hips open, really pulling that club through, having that club lag behind, and feeling what it feels like to whip through contact. As you pull that grip up, if you have lag, it's really going to create that whip through impact there. So
I like that.
what I like to do is do about 20 reps with just one arm. That's enough reps to give you enough of the feeling of what that lead arm should be doing in the downswing. After you've done about 20 reps, gotten that feel, now I want you to do 20 more reps where you alternate between 1 and 2 arm swings. So you do a 1 arm swing, keep the hips back, pull that club through, and then put the other hand on. And when you do these 2 arm swings, I want you to really feel what that lead arm was doing in the 1 arm swing and try to replicate that. Try to keep the right hand from taking over. Let the right hand be more passive. Let the lead arm kind of take control and really feel that same feeling. And the thing I like about doing alternating reps is you're constantly, every other swing, getting that reminder of what that lead arm should be doing in a downswing.
Yeah, I like that. And then this is the cheat sheet to where if this falls on the ground, you can't always tell. I like the mirror, but you can't always tell if you're doing it right. You can tell if this is falling down or not, so it's kind of the shortcut to it.
Right.
So the next best thing, what I recommend you do as a next step is let's work on lag in the downswing. And I want to play one of my absolute best lag videos here in a second. You're going to see a big card that pops up on the right side of your screen. All you need to do is click that to watch that video. And I'm going to pair up with what we just talked about. Yeah, we've got the right hand less active. Now let's learn how to get a little more lag and even release it through there with some speed. That's where you're going to, get the effortless power in the golf swing. So thanks, Ronnie. Can't wait to show you this lag drill. We'll see you soon.